Hi, my name's Chef Darren, and this is Cooking with Darren. Now, for my first episode, we're going to be making pancakes. Very easy and very simple. Now, what you will need is a griddle, lightly used, of course, okay? Pancake mix, not that hippie shit, it's not as good, okay? And it won't have the instructions on the back that you will need later, okay? You want some nice syrup, not sugar-free, not 50% sugar. Doesn't taste that good, okay? Peanut butter, any kind will work as long as it's not hippie organic stuff or chunky. You could use chunky, but I wouldn't prefer it, okay? Now, chocolate chips, it's a given. Preferably larger chocolate chips because the smaller ones wouldn't work as well, okay? If you're feeling crazy like I am today, some butterscotch chips as well. Now, other utensils, a mixing cup, preferably very big, obviously, and a whisk, okay? Now, a spatula. It's very nice to have a metal one because plastic ones don't work as well. And then just a normal, mixing cup, a knife to spread the peanut butter, fork and plate, obviously, to eat. Okay, now, it says here, now, 1 cup of pancake mix will make about 6 to 7 4-inch pancakes, but who wants a 4-inch pancake? I know I don't. Now, this tutorial is how to make a really large pancake that's very nice, okay? And it says to add about 2/3 cup of water. Now, honestly, you're gonna have to see how much water you'll need. So if you put too much water in, you might need to add a little batter. Maybe you won't put enough water in. Add a little more water. Now it's gonna get stuck in your whisk really easily. You just gotta beat it out. Just beat the devil out of it. I don't really know much about you, but Darren, myself, I'm a fun guy, okay? I only have 4 restraining orders currently. Probably shouldn't tell you that on my cooking show, but you know what? I did, because I am open to having people know about my personal life, and my ex-wife, Shanae LaQuifa, told me I probably should go to therapy about that. Haven't been going. It's probably a problem, but yeah, it's okay. Now, once we have this much of a consistency, it's a little thick here and there, so we're just gonna keep whisking it. You know what? We could add a little more water. Never that bad of an idea. There we go. That should be good. Now you can if you want thinner pancakes, of course, you just gonna add more water. If you want a little bit thicker ones, just add the mix. You know how it is. Nah, I'm saying, as the kids say these days. Now, this is the consistency we're looking for right here. A very nice consistency. Now, what we're gonna do is add in the chocolate chips. Now, we're not gonna want a whole lot, but we're gonna want a lot at the same time. Maybe 30. Okay, that's a good number. Same thing for the butterscotch chips. Usually, I would add more chocolate chips, but since we're using butterscotch chips and chocolate chips today, we even them out. Okay. Plus, I didn't get the right kind, of course, so they're not the big ones like I like that make a better pancake. But we'll make do today. So we're just gonna mix these in nicely. While we're gonna be mixing that in, we're gonna plug our griddle in. Kind of important. Now what we're gonna do is, by plugging it in, should be a setting on there to set the temperature. Obviously, we're gonna want ours about 350, 360. Now you're going to get a lot of chips caught in the whisk here, but you know what? We can just beat the devil out of it again, and it'll come up nice. We're going to scrape off all the excess batter off the sides because we're going to be needing that later. Alright, yeah. Now, it's good consistency still, so what we're going to do in the meantime, just reach over here, grab our plate, preferably a larger plate, because we are making big pancakes. Now, what we're going to do with the syrup right now, do a couple circles on the plate right now, kind of let it just flow around, So then, later, we can just ease the pancake on it and it'll be very nice. Now we're just going to set that back off to the side. tap this a couple times, see how warm it is. Still needs to heat up a little more. Keep scraping off the sides. Just keep the batter nice and stirred, so all the chips don't fall to the bottom here. Yeah, that sounds good. Now what we're gonna do is, you're just gonna take the couple drops that are left in your cup here, place it on the griddle, or you could use a stove or a pan or whatever. I prefer a griddle because that's what I know how to use best. But what you're gonna do with it, you can just put a couple drops on whatever you're using, stove, griddle, whatever, and then you're just gonna wait for it to sizzle. Now when it starts sizzling and bubbles off right away, that's how you know. But if you put it on there and it kind of stays there for a little bit and then bubbles, no, it's not the right time, you know. So you're gonna have to do it now. My iPad just kind of turned off, so how you you pour the pancakes on there. What you do is you just take the bowl, start on one end, work it to the other end, right? Now when it starts going, when you pour it out, it'll look nice. Get most of the batter out. Make sure you get all the chocolate chips out. That's important, okay? Now, when you have the entire pancake out, what you're gonna do is take your spatula, start working at the edges. Now the edges are gonna be start bubbling a little faster than the interior of the pancake. When the interior of the pancake starts to bubble, that's when you know it's cooked all the way through. So you just gonna keep working the sides, okay? Now when you see the entire thing bubbled over, you're gonna take a spatula, maybe two if you need it, slide them both under. You're gonna move it to the left, up and over. One smooth motion. Put it under there. Make sure the pancake's not sticking. Just move around a little bit. Up, left, up, over. Should do it to the right, I guess. If you really want to. I never do. That's what you do. And when you do that, then you take your peanut butter, start putting it on very quickly, so it'll melt nice. And then you just, when all the peanut butter looks pretty melted, then you just take it, put it on your plate, and you're good to go. Now, what we're gonna do, okay, after you put that on your the pancake with peanut butter on your plate, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your same mixing bowl, plop 4 eggs in there, okay, poke at all the yolks, just pop those little cherries, and start mixing them up, and then you're good to go. When you're mixing it, it's gonna be, it's gonna whisk on the sides a little higher, but you just gotta scrape it all down. Make sure you get all this good batter in off the sides. That's why we left a little in earlier. Just make sure you get all that. If you want to add a little more batter, that'd be fine too. Not a whole lot, but something to get by. Something to raise the kids on, if you can raise kids. Now, just make sure you stir that really well so you get all the chunks of batter out that you just put in. It's gonna turn out to be this grayish blob here. It's good consistency right there. Now what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna pour it out across the entire griddle. Probably the reason I like the griddle so much is because you can utilize the whole thing. Now we can set this in the sink here. Let that start getting going. This cooks a lot faster than the pancake, so let that be known to you. All you're gonna do with this, wait for it to bubble up a lot like the pancake, but it's gonna be a lot quicker. So what you're gonna do is just work at one side, and then you're gonna slide your spatula under pretty quick. Just raise it up until it starts breaking off in little pieces, and then you're just gonna flip it over in little tiny sections. That's all you gotta do. Make sure it doesn't really fold over on itself, because then it'll cook kind of weird. And it'll still be fine. It just won't look as pretty. I like it when it looks pretty. So just keep doing this to all the edges. You know, sometimes you get a bigger piece. Don't really like dealing with those. Let me tell you, not that fun. Okay, so let's just keep breaking it off. Really use the entire griddle for this part. Make sure you just gotta break them off, all these little pieces here. Make sure it doesn't fold over on itself, because then you won't really be able to use it. If you have to move a couple pieces, that's fine too. Make sure, you know, if you burn a finger, it's alright. Not that big of a deal. Just make sure you have someone responsible with you if you're not feeling so responsible that day. But just, you know, just keep on flipping them until they're nice golden brown on both sides. Smaller pieces will cook faster. Sometimes they'll stick to each other, sometimes they won't, you know, it just depends on each piece. Now, when you have pieces that are nice, already golden brown, you want to cut them up into little triangles, or any shape, you know, any geometric shape, but triangles or, you know, diamonds work the best. Or if you have like an end piece, then you know you can make a weird shape for that one. So just cut them up right here on the griddle, so then they stay warm. Keep checking in on that pancake. Yep, still looks good to me. This one, and I will cut this one right here. Alright, now when you have them all cut up, you can just scoop them on to your plate here, or spatula, my bad. And we're going to move some stuff around, so we put our nice pancake right here. Now what we're going to do now is just kind of weave them. That's why we left a nice space here next to it. Now what we're going to do is just kind of weave them on there, so then it'll look pretty when we eat it. This will look great for breakfast in bed, or, you know, if you messed up with your significant other, make it up to them like this. Everyone likes woven, I don't know, I like to think of them as kind of like half egg, half French toast type of things, even though they're not bread, but you know, you get the point. You can call them whatever you want if you really feel the need. Now you really want to leave, like, put this edge of the pancake right up against it, because you will need all this room to weave on your eggs here. Might have to start tucking them back in the other way. I'd recommend not grabbing them straight off the griddle that's still on. That's another thing. Once you start cutting them up, just unplug the griddle so it starts cooling down for you. Just keep weaving them on here. And then, what you're going to want to do, just take, you know, your syrup, you go over your pancake again, go over these eggs. Now, before you start making pancakes, always check if you have milk. Because if you don't have milk, what are you going to eat your pancakes with? Water? I don't think so. You go ahead and try to tell me to take a nice big old bite of peanut butter and chocolate chips, and then try not to take a sip of milk. Under one end, put the fork on the other end, and look at that. You got some nice pancakes just waiting for it. Come on, that just sounds crazy, guys.